the value, you guys, the value of intergenerational friendships are so beautiful. And so I'm here, the purpose of this video is to encourage you. If you have the opportunity to become friends with someone who is from a different generation, either younger or older, don't be intimidated, don't be fearful, don't be scared. I think it's time to break those generational boundaries. Hi there, welcome back to The Bridge. My name is Nomlindi, and if it's your first time here, what is The Bridge all about? So we have conversations that facilitate the transition from high school to university, but primarily, mainly speak about university and lessons that I learned. And today is no different. Welcome to our random Monday conversations where I just ramble on about a random topic, and what makes it cool is if you comment your opinion, whether you agree, whether you disagree, because there's always something to learn. I know a lot of you are writing exams right now, so I'm hoping that's going well and wishing all the peace as you write and all the calm. What is today's video about? So today's topic is intergenerational friendships. And the reason I'm speaking about this topic today is because of the profound experiences that I've had this year and the realization of the value that conversations with people from different generations has added to my life. This year specifically, I've had the privilege of being in environments where I was surrounded by people completely older than me. So I didn't have to add the completely there, but people older than me, where I can be in a circle and there's one person in their 30s, one person in their 50s, and one person in their 60s. I've been in other rooms where there's someone in their 70s, and the value and the information that goes about those circles is so valuable to me as someone in their 20s. And so I've just come here to say it's super cool and super valuable to have friends who are from different generations and who are in different seasons of life to you. Yes, I'm not saying like ignore the friends who are in the same generation or your peers. Like I have most of my friends are like peers and in similar seasons, but they come with so much value. So let's take it back all the way to varsity, and let's find level footing and a level ground from to where I began. So I think most of us in South Africa, when raised, are raised with culture. Like culture influences, culture has a big influence on how many of us are raised. And not only in South Africa, but I know outside as well. And a big value of culture is the relationship that young people have with older people, right? And this relationship of respect, this hierarchy, because that's kind of what it is. It's like a hierarchy where older people are above you, right? They are higher than you. When they make a certain call, when they have certain opinions, those are treasured or put a heavier weight on as compared to my opinion. So when we're raised in environments like that, where that respect is shown, for example, by how we refer to older people, right? When even if it's a stranger, ma, papa, malome, or like tani, all those things, or you call them mother, father, or uncle, aunt. It shows respect. The relationship culturally of how we interact with older generation is also shown by, for example, at family reunions. You find that the children are chilling with the children, the people in their 20s are chilling with the people in their 20s, the teenagers are chilling with the teenagers, the people in their 30s and their 40s are chilling together, and the people 50s, 60s older are chilling together. So everyone's having their own different conversations, everyone's interested in different things, everyone's just, there's just the separation, right? But this is just all to say that there are boundaries generationally that we have learned, or that I learned while growing up, and that a lot of people have learned. But when I went to university, what I came to realize, what I was unaware of, was that even though majority of people in varsity are 18 and 19-year olds, not everyone who completes matric heads into varsity the next year. Some people are not sure about what they want to study, so they take a few years off to go figure it out, to go work, and they come back maybe in their mid-20s, 23, 24. Other people just don't have the funds immediately after matriculating to go to university, so they spend a few years working, saving, finding funding, and then head into university after a few years, again, maybe 24, 25, 26. Some people, it's just they don't want to do university yet and come back 20s, 30s. Some people have completed university or got their degree years ago, but then come back to obtain another degree in their 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s. So you can find yourself in university in a room where there are people in their 30s, there are people in their 40s, there are people in their 50s, but majority of people will be 18 and 19-year-olds. So the older people will be the minority. But, so I didn't know this while heading into university, but I found myself quite uncomfortable and uncertain about how to handle relationships, like friendships with older people. I was like, do I call them ma, ba? Do I call them, do I refer to them? And I learned, no, in a professional setting, in an academic setting, you refer to people by name. You call them by name. But the value, you guys, the value of intergenerational friendships are so beautiful. And so I'm here, the purpose of this video is to encourage you, if you have the opportunity to become friends with someone who is from a different generation, either younger or older, don't be intimidated, don't be fearful, don't be scared. I think it's time to break those generational boundaries in a lot of settings. So here's one valuable reason to have intergenerational friendships. When I'm in circles with people from different generations, I find information and knowledge that is being passed around that I wouldn't typically get from conversations with my own peers. So for example, I'll sit there and these older people will talk about their life, and they'll talk about the career decisions that they've had to make. They'll talk about raising children and the different experiences that they've had. They'll talk about like marriage and being single, and like all those things are like just passed around in these conversations. And me as like a 24-year-old sitting there just like, wow, like this is quite valuable things to know, right? So that's the first reason to have intergenerational relationships, and that's the first reason to have intergenerational friendships, is because you learn things that you wouldn't learn from your own peers. Even with younger people, right? You can learn things that you wouldn't get from your older peers that are your same age. Another reason to have intergenerational friendships is, I think there are less boundaries in intergenerational friendships than there are, for example, in family relationships. And again, this is a generalization and could be definitely be wrong, because I've had really close relationships with older aunts where there are no boundaries, that we can just talk. But intergenerational friendships where you refer to each other by name and you both see each other as equals and this is a mutual relation, this is a mutual friendship, this is a mutual friendship where we were just normal friends. you I talk about my life, you talk about your life. There is little, depending on the depth of friendship, there are very few topics that are out of that we're not, whether we can't discuss or that we can't speak about. And so we're able to bounce ideas off each other. We're able to you hear my about finding a job and trying to find a job, and I hear about you and how things are going in your job and the things that you've learned and the experiences and the difficulties that you have with colleagues, or how it is raising children or having older children, and all these kinds of things. And to the older people, also don't shy away from having intergenerational friendships where the friend is someone that's younger than you. So once again, intergenerational friendships are just something that, it's something that is so valuable, and I would encourage it. So let me know, put your opinion in the comment box to say, do you have older friends? Do you have younger friends? Do you have friends that are 20, 30, 5 years older than you? Do you have friends that are 20 years younger than you, and or a colleague that's 20 years younger than you, and are you also friends with them? Or, and how are those friendships? How have they been beneficial to you? Is there anything to warn us about when it comes to intergenerational friendships? Do's, don'ts, be wary of. Of course, be wary of of people with bad intentions. These are all questions that would be lovely if you answered in the comment box down below. And yeah, thank you for sticking with me throughout this whole video. I hope you have a good week ahead with exams. I hope you have a blessed week filled with so many good things, and take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.